flat. It's pulling fine. It just started to feel a little heavy. I ran out of air. Oh man, what an adventure. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Lord Duckman's Garage. Yep, remember this 1967 bus? Well, much to the chagrin of many commenters, I cut it up.
Alright, it's off.
Now it's off. But here's the deal. Technically, I rescued it, as Decklid Don already had sold off some of the parts off of it, and it was destined to being crushed for scrap. Yeah, you heard that right. This bus was headed for certain doom.
Alright.
So as I said, I came along and I saved this bus. Its DNA will make its way into my other 1967 bus, Gregory, and the remaining metal will become other projects. I can't wait to see what I come up with for the frame. Well, this video wraps up the return for the remaining bus parts and how I got them home, and that didn't come without a bunch of different disasters along the way. So what I've done at this point is I ratchet strapped the entire steering rack straight. Let's just say, 2 hours to travel 5 miles.
What's that noise?
I'm glad I made it home safely.
Uh-oh.
So likey, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to plug the dingle belly so you get updates every time I upload a video. Check out duckshit.f for all my different social media links. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back right after that intro. Welcome back, kiddies, to another exciting Lord Duckman production. Right behind me here, you can see my 1967 Volkswagen bus, which I cut it all to pieces. It rained so hard last night. Oh my God, 60-mile-an-hour winds. It actually blew down my fence in my backyard, so I'm going to have to be fixing that too. But currently it's Wednesday, and I promised Don that all this stuff would be out of here for a tech session on Saturday. Now, he didn't tell me to do that. This is just one of them nice courtesy things. I just didn't want to have just a freaking mess, because that's really what this is. This is just a disaster. We'll get this all picked up for him and just get it out of here. You know, I think it was just a nice thing for me to do. Just to be a responsible human being and not leave him hanging with a big pile of trash over here. All right, well, let's start with getting that chassis out of there. Oh no! Well, I f***ed that monkey, didn't I? Well, just like last week when I came on out here, I should have brought gloves. Well, again, I should have. But the irony of it is I cut myself on a tow bar and not the chassis. Go figure. Oh, Duckman, don't forget to cross the chains. Oh God, Duckman, you gotta cross the chains. You never cross the chains, you never use a tow bar. Why is that? Because they both attach to the same bolt underneath the tongue, so if you cross them, it makes no difference. There we are, once again, Duckman doing Duckman shit. Yo, hitched up. Check out that trailer pin. No, I'm not leaving it like that. I did that just for you guys to see. Here we are. All right. Gonna try to stick that roof on top of here and get that out of here at the same time. All the rest of it, got a scrapper coming by, except for the doors, tomorrow. All right, well, it got dark mighty quick. There's my infrared night shot on my Sony camcorder here. Man, half moon tonight though, and it's remarkably bright considering it's only a half moon. That over there is Mars. Pretty sure anyway. I think Venus is way over there right now, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Mars. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, we're gonna get this thing out of here. And you know, I haven't checked the lug nuts, but damn it, it's dark. I'm gonna go around the corner real quick, nice, slowly and gently, where there's a bunch of light, and I'll tighten up the lug nuts just to make sure everything's good, but I think we're okay, I really do.
5 minutes later.
Well, we already had our first mishap. As I'm pulling the chassis along, the axle beam folded under like this, which caused the wheels to get all wonky and it wouldn't steer straight anymore, and I couldn't figure out what the hell's going on. What I'm about to explain here in the video doesn't really come across clearly because the camera keeps glitching and it's kind of hard to see in the dark. But what I'm trying to explain is that the frame started out looking like this, and then this is what happened to it. Kind of a big problem. It was something that I had to get fixed immediately because I was already committed to this trip, and well, I'm out on public roads, so yeah. I looked at the beam mounts and all the bolts are still in it okay. I didn't see anything wrong. And as I got a little further back, that point where it's rusty right there, I attached a ratchet strap to there and on the other side. And when I put the roof on top of it, I torqued it down. And this is where the interesting thing comes into play. It defied the law of gravity and the frame bent upwards. It made no sense to me at all, but bending upwards caused the caster of the front wheels to go all nuts, and it wasn't going to roll straight anymore. The wheels were just flopping around all kinds of crazy. They were getting really hot, they were smoking, it was bad. So anyway, I untied the ratchet strap, moved the lid, got up on top of the frame, jumped up and down on it, which straightened it out. And then I went and tied a ratchet strap to here, and I went under the beam, back around to the back side there. So what it's going to do is it's going to torque it under, so it's going to stop it or try to prevent it from bending back upwards again, although it shouldn't because, you know, defying laws of gravity. In addition to that, I now put the lid on the crease where it's trying to bend, so that way it's applying weight to it, so gravity will be on my side once again. But what's funny is when it's in the factory position where it's at now, it doesn't want to bend at all. It doesn't want to bend down, it wants to bend up. Really, really weird stuff. But anyway, I think we're safe. I mean, I didn't get very far, but I'm gonna get to the lighted area there, check those lug nuts. I think they're fine. I really do. I mean, I don't think Don would have screwed me over on that. But anyway, always check yourself before you roll a car away. But we're going to go down the street a little ways. There's a church that has some really good lighting, and we'll pull in the parking lot over there, and we'll just make sure everything is safe. And it's a little heavy on the traffic right now, so I might just take a break for a little bit before I go home. But the chickens are outside, and it's pitch black. I don't like to leave them out late. So I need to get home quickly, and that means if I have to leave this thing somewhere, then that's just what I have to do. All right, well, let's keep moving down the road.
15 minutes later.
All right, well, we're at that church parking lot I was telling you about. It's nice that they have such wonderful lighting here. Praise the Lord. All right, you can see where the frame is now straight. There used to be like a, I don't know, 20 to 30 degree angle in there, but it bent back up again, which made no sense. So what I've done at this point is I ratchet strapped the entire steering rack straight. I really don't care if it steers a whole lot. We're not taking a whole lot more turns from here on out. And if the front wheels skip a little across the ground, well, that's just what they're gonna do. It just needs to make it home, that's really all. So I feel a little better about this now. I got some more straps I'm gonna tie down the back of this here just to make sure that everything's safe, but all right. Well, we're gonna go a little further, and in about another mile or so, there's a gas station that's very well lit. And then we have about a mile on the main road. and that's the part I'm not really looking forward to. But, well, we'll get there, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, guys. No funny noises, but the bus back there is starting to feel a little heavy. I'm gonna have to pull over and check it. There's definitely something wrong. I don't know what. It just suddenly got heavy. I don't hear any wheels chirping or anything, though. So, I don't know. No frame cracking or metal breaking or nothing dragging. It feels heavy. So something's changed. Maybe one of the wheels locked up or something's wrong. Anyways, we're gonna pull over right over here where we got a little bit of light, but we're not far from home. We're well lit over here, and I got a flat. It's pulling fine. It just started to feel a little heavy. I ran out of air. The good news is there's no weight on this thing. I mean, I can lift it up without a problem, so it just needs to spin. The good or bad news is I don't have my damn compressor. Usually I have two of them, and I don't have either. So anyway, we gotta go about a mile down the road that way, and we'll see what happens. There's no more turns until the last turn, which takes me into my neighborhood. So we'll see what happens. All right, stay tuned. Turn signal is on. This is the last turn to get me in the neighborhood up here. Oh my God. I know that once I make. Well, what's that noise? Uh-oh. Oh man, just a couple blocks from home. You hear that? Brr, brr, sound. Brr. I have no idea what that is. Couple blocks, man. Couple more blocks. You just have to make it a couple blocks. All right, this is the very, very last turn that I have to make. The last 90-degree turn. I'm turning extra wide on this one. Listen to the scrubbing. Oddly, it didn't scrub. That's interesting. Is it steering properly again? I don't know, but that sounds terrible. Okay. Well, I can see my house from almost home. Here we are. Turning in the driveway. All right. Oh, scrubbing. Oh, it's heavy going up the driveway. We're here. Oh, let's go have a look and see what kind of damage. All right, well, you can recognize that dog barking. We're home. Wheels were turning. It looks like we spun all the wheels coming over here like they were supposed to. We got a flatty up front there, but it looks like we're a survivor, man. We made it. Wow. Okay. The chassis is clearly lifted where it shouldn't be lifted, but you can get a better look at it there. You can see it in the light. Anyway, I'll straighten that chassis back out. The good news is it hasn't bent this way. It just kind of bent up to down. So I can straighten it back out before I patch weld it all together. And then I'll measure diagonally from this suspension point to that corner, and then vice versa to here, to make sure everything is straight. So that way nothing's wonky when we go to use this chassis. But even if so, some of it can be adjusted out of alignment, so it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough, if you know what I mean. But anyway, this chassis on this bus was otherwise just downright dangerous. This was something I never should have done tonight. Yeah, now it's where it needs to be. You can see the beam is now vertical again. So, wow. Okay, well, I feel accomplished for this evening. I'm gonna bring in the chickens, and we're calling it a night. Unbelievable. Big Blue, once again, up to the job. I love this car, man.
The following day.
Well, good morning, everybody. We're headed on back to Decklet Don's house to sift through the last pieces of metal that's remaining from that bus. I wanted to see it in daylight. I'm giving a lot of it to a friend of mine who's a scrapper. If there's not anything that's of any use or of any interest to me, it's going to go in the hopper. Anything that has, huge rust holes in it, etc., that's just better to be recycled. That's what we're doing. If there's anything that's useful scrap, I'm going to try to keep it for patch panels, whatever I can. But anyway, just trying to help somebody out. But after yesterday's fiasco, I think the rest of this video is going to be a little more easygoing. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back as soon as we head over to Decklet Don's house. All right. Here's what's left of that bus. Should have brought a rake. Yeah, I guess I'll be at tech session running a rake around, cleaning up for deck lid done. And there it is. Here's everything, and there's Matt. Fantastic. Yeah, looks like that's it. Okay. How you doing there, buddy? I'm sorry we disturbed you. It's 42 degrees out. You're not supposed to be out here this morning. No, buddy. Yeah. Ah, you poor dude. I'm gonna go shuffle you off somewhere, but you might be better here in the sun. Well, there was a 1967 Volkswagen bus. Clearly, it's gone now. I wanted to get a little video of him hauling it off, but it didn't happen, but that's okay. No big deal. We got Miss Ruby over there, putting a little air in her back tire. Cold weather, you know, always makes the tire look like it's deflated due to the pressure change. And anyway, it was under 20 PSI. I noticed it was a little bulbous on the bottom, so we're putting a little air in it right now. Otherwise, we'll be out of here in a minute. And on Saturday is tech session, which means I'll be over here with a rake, raking up the last of that nonsense and putting it in a trash bin for Don. Yes, deck lid Don's gonna be mad at me for leaving a mess. But anyway, that's all the non-metal stuff. And that little toadie's still here. That little toadie. Look at him. I feel bad that you're out here in the cold. Man. It's right here at this traffic light where I was making a left turn last night when I started to hear the chassis making some noise. And then a few blocks down that way is where we made our first stop. But I mean, it's pitch black over here at night, so you don't see a damn thing. Looking to see if there's any scrub marks on the pavement over here, but apparently there's none. I guess it really wasn't scrubbing all that bad. The wheels were still turning. They were just all racked over to one side. Anyway, we'll continue home and we'll get a good look at that chassis when it's in the driveway. Well, now we get to look at this thing in the day. And boy, is that frame rotten. Especially the frontmost area, which is here, which really doesn't matter for some of the plans that I have for this anyway. But what I'll do is I'll cut out all this extra crap that's in here that's garbage, and I'll cap off the end here that's looking kind of ugly. The wiring harness run through the frame? That's interesting. Anyway, I'll just roll that over, make it look nice. Look at that. That's all bowed inwards. Apparently all this stuff was getting weird too. I never should have cut the cross members out of it with Don. I should have left the floor and brought it home that way. Hell, I probably should have dragged the whole bus home solid. But I'm gonna have to do a lot of resquaring and fixing this frame up for sure. I mean, it's all lopsided and bent. Yeah, it's just it's kind of bullshit. You know, the rear section here looks pretty good though. All through here, it's fine. The ends though are kind of, well, you know what? No, they're actually not too bad. All this stuff I don't need anyway. This is the old bumper bracket, that can go away. For what I plan on building anyway, I'll probably cut this short, so a lot of this stuff isn't even needed. But yeah, the worst rust I see in the tail section's right here, and that's not even bad. There you go again. Kind of gone, as Dad would said, weep, and that's what it's done. And then there's where our problem area was. And look at how rotten that is. There's patch panels for this, or I could just make my own out of some angle iron. I don't see I need to go too you know, ridiculous on this. I could patch this back together and get this thing fixed probably in about a day. I just have to find the right materials to do it. But again, that whole section in there, the cross section, that needs to come out. I wonder how this thing got so mangled like that, man. I didn't see that happen last night. And the way the straps are pulling on it, it actually should have pulled it out and up. This thing totally defied the laws of physics, the laws of gravity. Nothing made any sense with what happened on this. For example, this area in the chassis went up against gravity. Yeah, okay, I know I pulled it up because of the bridge that I had made, but the car is pulling on the lower section of the beam, which means the beam should be going like that, which means that should go down. So when I ran the straps under it to tweak it that way, which actually seemed to do a pretty good job until I went about a mile and then it pulled up again, I don't know, just it don't make any sense. Totally defied the laws of physics, gravity, the whole works. This is what we got here. Looks like I got some work cut out for me. Literally some work needs to be cut out. This whole crap in here needs to go away anyway. That might be where I start. Just get that out and just remove it. Here's our whole steering linkage, which looks like it's all there. Yeah. Steering box, however, has been removed, but normally they bolt in way up here somewhere. Again, that section of the frame is just gone, but we're not going to need that. If I build this the way I want to build it, it'll probably end up with a beetle box in it anyway, or maybe just a proper rack and pinion. Here's how I secured the steering rack in place. I tied the spindles directly to the frame, same on this side, and I tightened them until it was even, and I got everything locked up solid. So at this point, the steering didn't work. The front wheels would just scrub and bounce across the pavement. We already had a flat tire at that point, so it made no difference of what was going on over here. And yeah, that thing does turn. I lifted it up and turned it, so it's not like it locked up. It just appears that the tire did have a little bit of dry rot, and it let go. And then once it ended up with a flat spot on it, it didn't want to roll anymore. But anyway, that one's gone. These tires aren't mine either. I need to return them to the owner, and I don't think he's gonna like hearing that. But I mean, it's dry rotted, so clearly it's not any fault of my own. Let's take off some of these straps here and get a better look at everything. The orange straps are very distracting. Well, after running around it with a Sawzall, with the last of the Sawzall blades that I had, chopping off anything that was extra or garbage that was just dangling, I mean, the frame looks a lot more promising already. All the little pieces of the crossbars that were on there are all off. Anything that was flappy or loose or hanging on the back, all the sheet metal that was dangling off the ends over here, I took all that off. It looks just a lot better. It still has a very mangled appearance. But stay tuned, I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to fix that. I think I've got a way to handle that. And of course we'll patch in all this stuff here. Deck Lid Don thinks that I should fix it and then close up and box in these pieces. But I think it's probably a bad idea because if moisture builds up in there, it's going to rot out again. Now I guess it could be possible to drill some holes in the bottom of it, but I don't know that I want to get into that. I guess we'll see. And the only thing I couldn't get out of the frame, by the way, was the wire, and I don't want to cut it off and leave it in there. That, to me, is just, it's like leaving in a splinter. If it's in there, it doesn't belong in there, get it out. So anyway, I'm fighting with it, and I like to try to save it, because, I mean, it's good copper for whatever it's worth. With the price of copper nowadays, yeah, I'll use that wire. I throw nothing away anymore. All right. Well, there it is. Likey, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to plug the dingle bells. You get updates every time I upload a video. Check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links, and we'll see what's going on with this thing in the future. I've got big plans for this, and we're going to see if we can put this frame back together quickly. I'd like to even fix it where it's at. It makes it easier to work on where it sits and easier to roll when I go to put it where it needs to be. Anyway, update soon. Thanks for watching.